Hello and happy Monday. Hopefully, you are starting off this week getting excited, full of activities, doing whatever you got to do, and just rocking and making this week the best week of your life. So, I wanted to come on here and show you something just in case you haven't noticed. So, as you might know, I have been uploading a few real estate videos to Facebook and also to YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, let me flip it over this way like this. If you're on Facebook, you will notice that there's this little ADRA International $0 raised donate button. And some people have reached out to me through Messenger asking me like, what's this thing about? So just to go back from where I originally got this, sometime, I think it was in 2016 or 2017, I met a gentleman here in Miami by the name of Rey Perez. Sorry, my computer is about to die and I'm going to have to scramble for my charger so I could read off some of this stuff and not screw up. But anyways, I met a gentleman by the name of Rey Perez. He is really dedicated to helping business owners, helping entrepreneurs, just brand themselves. He has a great program called Brand in 2 Days, and really just figure out how to brand yourself and how to market your business effectively. And I actually met him through our local Toastmasters group. So that was a great opportunity to meet with someone and also get to practice public speaking and improve your public speaking in that type of environment. So when I met Rey Perez, we're always doing some sort of charitable contributions. Sometimes it's not a lot of money in the year. It might only be a couple $1,000s. Other times it's a little bit more. Other times it's a little bit less. But whatever the scenario is, if you've never volunteered or if you've never donated, there's a personal satisfaction that, just feels good knowing that you're actually giving back to someone because, you really appreciate all the blessings that you have and you understand that there's people in this world that, have much less than you and you want to try to give back something. So yeah, those opportunities are available. So whatever, one thing that I got from Rey that was important is he continues to say that it's very important as an entrepreneur to choose an organization or to actually create your own charity if that's something that you want to do, in order for you to give back and donate. And I didn't really understand why until I started to read more into entrepreneurship and mindset and kind of what are all these things involved. And the why is actually important because when we're doing our daily activities, it doesn't matter if you're in the sales world, it doesn't matter if you're a real estate broker, it doesn't matter if you work in an engineering job or another sort of office white collar job, or if you're a construction worker, or if you're working at a store, at a restaurant, whatever it is that you are doing to work, to generate your daily, to do your daily activities in order to generate income, right? Especially if you're in a first world country. So, places like the United States, Canada, the Great Britain, just Europe, parts of the world where work is available. Sometimes I think we get disconnected and we think that everything is normal and people all around us have the same opportunity, all that stuff. And look, I'm not saying that United States is perfect by any means of way. I've been to places in, outside of Baltimore, even up, outside of Boston, there's extremely poor conditions where people live subpar. I remember living up in Maine and going outside of Portland, about an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Portland. There are distressed communities that need a lot of support, financial support, and also just public support, infrastructure, all that sort of stuff. But even with all that, there are other places around the world that literally people have nothing to eat or drink or a roof over their head, and they have no, I don't want to say it's a vision, but in the environment that they're in, they can't see the possibilities, and they can't actually, focus on how to get out of this of drug issues that unfortunately had them lose a lot of their friends and family and the positions that they were. Is there something else that's going on that is not allowing them to kind of improve or get out of the situation that they're at? Like, what is the deep down reason that's going on? And just by having that even 20-minute or 15-minute conversation. Sorry, I had another call coming in. You have learned through your professional career and what they can do with it. But also another thing that you can do is actually add a donate button. So there's, all sort of organizations in there that you could choose from. Maybe you have a favorite one. I know a good friend of mine who actually does a podcast. He did a thing with the Ronald McDonald Foundation, with the McDonald's one. So he was doing one of the things that I got from him that I'm going to be implementing on my podcast is I'm actually going to start running ads, and not for the ad revenue, but all of the revenue that is brought in through the ads that people listen to, those will be donated to this same foundation as well. And right now I think I'm going to do a biannual donation. So whatever, if it's $200 every 6 months, I'll just forward them in there. So I would rather have that money flow every 3 months or every 6 months versus wait till the end of the year when there's $400 or $1,000 sitting there and then send them all lump sum. And the reason is for you to understand that some of these organizations, it's literally critical for you to get financial support to them as fast as you can, because there are natural disasters, there are socioeconomic problems, there are genocides going on around the world, and sometimes they're missing funds. So if you're actually sitting on that cash, if you're sitting on that money and you're not sending it away, well, that money isn't helping anyone. So we'll see. Maybe I'll say every time that it hits whatever $50, I'll send it there, or whatever the case is. But anyways, the organization that I support is called ADRA, ADRA, and you could actually go on their website and you could look up what is it that they do. And one of the things that I wanted to point out on why I decided to donate to this foundation and choose this foundation as the one that I actually support is for several reasons. One of those reasons is their impact and what it is that they're focused on. So in the Bible, or generally in life, there's that old saying, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, teach a man how to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life. So one of the areas that ADRA actually works is in economic growth, specifically in livelihood and agriculture, as well as hunger and nutrition and water and sanitation, which, if you don't know, water and actual sanitation and hygiene is a huge issue, especially in third world countries, where there's a huge issue with not only human waste, but waste from farming and animals and just trash and stuff like that, where actually the groundwater in those areas is no longer clean because there is no clean sewage system. So the groundwater has gotten polluted from all of this stuff, and it's causing effects on, those individuals needing to go hundreds of miles sometimes to go get water. And sometimes, a lot of people still die from cholera or some other, 1800 disease, or whatever the scenario might be. So I wanted to share actually two stories with you. The first one is from a 57-year-old mother named Juana Celaya from Honduras. And actually her story was, really touching and really encouraging, because she, lives with her family, and they actually have a field that they plant and they depend on and all this stuff. So in Honduras, they actually had an extensive dry period, as we are seeing in other parts of the world. And this organization, what they actually helped this lady do and the community do, is they actually helped them to mitigate the effects of drought by installing certain reservoir tanks to hold water. Also, they tapped into groundwater, and they just sustained the community that way. And in addition to that, and this is where the story gets good, they actually had another reservoir done that they were using in order to grow fish, to farm fish, specifically tilapia. So, this organization actually helped this village, this place, to have sustainable things for the future, on having these storage tanks and also having these farming fields that they can farm fish. Another story that I saw on here that had a pretty significant impact on me is a school in Ethiopia. It's called Woyo something. But anyways, this school, and this reminded me of Toastmasters, because it actually taught these individuals the power of communication, and then also the power of, financial goal and financial planning. So anyways, the school was in such deteriorated shape that they didn't even have money for paying the teachers or any of that stuff. So actually, through the Parents Teachers Association and working with this organization, with ADRA, they were able to have several meetings where they actually showed the community and also parent awareness on the importance regarding school and what role the school plays and how to maintain quality education to provide to the children and all that. And then what they actually did was they had 676 community members that expanded their produce of grain. So by the end of the year, the community worked together on a common goal to actually have a higher grain production. And with that, they were able to sustain some of the school things. So this taught me a powerful lesson where, the organization actually taught inter-community relationships, so how to communicate within the community and how to get people in the community excited and how to get people just trained so they're able to plan on a goal and they're able to do these things and work together on this common goal, which was education. And then the last story I'll share with you is also coming out of Ethiopia. And this was from a 40-year-old woman who had 5 children. And it was hard for them to provide the basic necessity of life. It read here that in this community, a lot of families, so she's not on her own, they would have to travel at least 8 hours back and forth in order to fetch 2 cans of water, so about 20 liters of water each way. So what they actually did is this organization, ADRA, they actually provided this community with donkeys and also carts that would hold a 200-liter water barrel. But they actually went a step further. They taught them a little bit about entrepreneurship, and they taught them a little bit about how they can serve other communities and make a little bit of profit in order to essentially sustain themselves. So now they are running actually this water transportation business with these donkeys. So they're transporting water between the communities. And also it says here that she actually started a little tea shop. So now she's able to make up to about $4.50 per day, which, again, if you've read any sort of publications, you know that most of the places, especially third world countries, world hunger can be solved with less than $1 per day per person, can actually feed them multiple meals per day. So, this organization coming here to this remote village and changing the people's mindset that, hey, yes, you still need to go and you need to travel, this far distance, but how can you be more efficient? How can we provide you with a donkey? How can you start saving so when this donkey is past its useful life and it dies, that way you could buy another donkey. So they're teaching them all these entrepreneurship thing. They're teaching them, okay, well, yes, you're in a drought situation. You're going to run out of water, but how can you save that water that you have in excess of? And not only that, but that water just can't sit there, right? If you're using it for irrigation, can you make a farm field so that you have tilapia, so you're growing fish, so you have another source of sustainability, not only to eat, but also as a business. These are some of the reasons why I support this organization. Because really, I think stories like this, it impacts us and we don't think about it. And just by doing these things like the stories that I shared here is allowing people in communities that literally have very little to no opportunities, that they're kind of stuck there, that they're not seeing any way out. They saw their parents, they saw their grandparents, they saw the community, go through the farming or the agriculture or whatever the thing is, but there is no farming jobs, or there is no agriculture, or there is no business enterprise close by, and they're able to establish these little micro businesses, and they're able to do things in order to sustain themselves for an extensive period of time without necessarily needing a lot more external help. So that's why I chose this organization. Hopefully this message resonates with you. Again, if you watch any of my videos where I'm providing value, I don't ask specifically for a donation. I don't ask for you to buy any programs of anything that I teach. Because again, I think if you're, yes, I do want to come up with a program here in the future, but it's going to be some ridiculous cost that it's like, okay, well, it's just, I'm giving away the program. It's pretty much the cost of the website plus whatever it takes for you to, get a coaching call or something like that. I don't know. So, anyways, in the meantime, what I have is this organization that we're donating to. And if you like any of my videos, and even if you want to donate, 50 cents, $1, you just never know how much of an impact that's going to do. So if you watch any of my videos and you get any value from it, and you feel, encouraged to donate to these organizations, or any other sort of organization, go ahead and do it. And then again, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, I would encourage you to align your services with this organization. For example, with our veterans, as a real estate broker, and also, especially focusing on commercial real estate, I truly believe that here in the United States, we would not be able, or I would not be able to enjoy the life if I didn't have the brave, citizens, the veterans that went out and defended this country and defended what this country is about. So part of another organization that I give to every time we have a transaction is to the VA, and I frequently go and speak at some of their meetings and help them with financial education, how to get their credit started, getting the VA loan in order to either start a business or start investing in real estate. So again, these are all programs that you can give back without necessarily, taking tons of money out of your pocket. If you're earning a couple $1,000s on each real estate deal, if you're in residential real estate, or if you're earning a couple, $100,000 on a transaction, what's 1% of that, or even 5% of that? Is it really going to hurt your bottom line when you give back just a little bit? So just start thinking about that as an entrepreneur, and be encouraged to give back to society, and don't try to do it from a selfish point of view. Try to align yourself with an organization that maybe aligns with your values, or you feel that you see that they're impacting somewhat, and you're just really taken away by what this organization does. So with all that, I know I've been blabbing on here for a while. Get encouraged to do that. If you listen to my podcast and you start to see these ads, don't get offended. All of the money goes to charity. It goes for a good cause. And if you're an entrepreneur, again, find a way for you to give back to some organizations and support in all the ways that you are supporting additionally now. So with all that, have a great afternoon. Later on today, I do have another real estate deal that we will be analyzing, and you'll see that video upload. Whether you're seeing it here on Facebook or you want to check out the YouTube channel, either one is a great source, whatever you want to do. So if you're getting value from it, if you know anyone that is looking to learn about real estate investment, you could share the videos with them, and it doesn't cost you anything. And again, if you are anywhere in the United States and you are looking to start investing in real estate, over the last 13 years, I've built a large referral network of other real estate professionals that can serve you, that understand this investment language, that understand what it is that you're going through as a first-time home buyer buying multifamily income-producing property. So again, I'd be more than happy to refer you to those agents. And same thing, if you're an investor, if you're looking for syndication deals, if you're looking for off-market deals, I always go to the networking meetings. This Wednesday, I'm actually going to the CCIM annual conference and learning and connecting with a bunch of other real estate professionals who are in the game, who have deals that are off market, that are looking to sell or looking to buy, that have buyers. So again, we are here to serve that community and you as an individual. And really what I've learned is I just want to give back. 2020 for me is all about giving back and teaching my message and teaching you what I've learned. Because again, if you have the opportunity to get started with as little as 3.5% down payment, buying a cash flowing income producing property, hey, that's how I got started. And I think it's the best way to get started, the easiest way with the least amount of money, essentially, and the least amount of knowledge. Because again, I know a lot of people talk about big deals and syndications, but you need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to communicate. You need to know how to network. You need to learn how to locate the deals, So there's a lot more work that goes into syndication and investing versus FHA. I still want for you to kind of switch that mentality. You got to live somewhere. So why not buy an income producing property, live in one of the units, get cash flow from the other units, and start to build your investment portfolio. So with all that, have an awesome day, and check out the real estate analysis video later on today, and I'll see you on the next video.